Hello, my fellow writers. I'm the Pen Mother, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite ways to twist a plot. It's a form of escalation with some reversal thrown in, I guess. So insofar as the audience and the characters have one expectation about what is going on, only to discover that something completely different and much worse is happening. Today I'm calling it the "this is no cave" moment. But it's similar to the "that's not the dragon" card in John August's Writer Emergency Pack. If you haven't checked out the Writer Emergency Pack, it's loads of fun and has lots of great ideas if you need a fresh perspective on your project. Anyway, this is no cave. In The Empire Strikes Back, spoiler alert, there is a fantastic chase scene where the Millennium Falcon must navigate an asteroid field to evade evil Imperial TIE fighters. It's probably one of the most iconic chase scenes in movies, and it's one of the best of the entire Star Wars franchise, which is kind of amazing when you consider that the movie was released in 1981. Anyway, Han Solo, super pilot, manages to navigate the asteroid field and send his pursuers crashing into giant spinning balls of rock. But he needs a safe place to land the Falcon so he can figure out what's wrong with the hyperdrive. Outside the asteroid field, the Empire awaits. Han finds a cave in one of the larger asteroids, and he steers the Falcon into its depths. So this starts a brief respite in the story, where Han, Leia, Chewbacca, and C-3PO try to figure out what's wrong with the ship. And Han and Leia's relationship develops to the kissing phase, which turns them into one of the greatest movie romances of all time. We're going to talk about that in a future chemistry lesson, but not right now. Okay, so they're getting the ship fixed up, and everything is calm. But then, escalation, some super creepy, slimy, bat-like creatures attach themselves to the ship and start sucking on it. Han, who's determined to not let anything tear the ship apart, heads out into the cave to figure out what's going on. Turns out that the creatures are just a pest called Minox, like slimy, bat-like giant mice who like to chew on power cables. No biggie. But then, escalation number 2, as Han and Chewbacca are blasting the Minox off of the Falcon, one of their blaster shots hits the cave floor, and it sets off an earthquake, as if the cave were responding to the blaster fire. Uh-oh. As the cave rumbles and pitches and throws our heroes around, Han shouts for everyone to get back on the ship. Fixed or not, they have got to get out of this cave. As they zoom full tilt out of the cave, the entrance seems to collapse before their eyes. If they can't get through, they will be trapped. Princess Leia says, "The cave is collapsing," and Han replies, "This is no cave." And it isn't. The cave is a super giant, disgusting worm monster that somehow manages to survive on an asteroid with no discernible atmosphere. But whatever. It's massive and it's gross, and it tries to eat the Millennium Falcon. So, This is no cave works like this. You have your characters in dire straits. They are struggling. They are fighting. Their situation is desperate, but they win. Or at least they seem to be safe, and everything has settled down for the time being. But then, the thing they thought they were fighting turns out to just be the appetizer. They were fighting the henchman, when the big bad was actually the guy watching from behind the two-way mirror. They faced off against a dragon, but that was just the baby dragon, and now they pissed off its mother. Hansel and Gretel have escaped their evil stepmother and find respite at the cottage of a kindly old woman in the woods. They gobble up the food that she offers, only to find out that she's Baba Yaga and is fattening them up so she can eat them. This is no cave is a moment of respite or victory, followed by the appearance of an unexpected massive twist that immediately raises the stakes and throws your hero into a new crisis. Star Wars did this in A New Hope too, actually, with the whole trash compactor scene. First, they were just stuck, and Leia says it could be worse, at which point it proceeds to get worse and worse. A slimy trash worm eats Luke, and we think he's dead. Reversal, the worm spits him out. But why? Escalation, because they're actually in a trash compactor, and they're all going to be crushed to death. So that scene goes from everyone being relatively safe, or at least they've evaded their enemies, to one person at risk to everyone at risk. This Is No Cave is such a fun way to get through a section of your plot. It's not something that I would use more than a couple of times in a novel or even more than once in a screenplay, because once you've done it, your audience will be looking for it. But if you can find a way to incorporate this kind of escalation/reversal, audiences and readers will eat it up like a cave monster.